Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to try to make this video as brief as possible and cover just a couple of points that I need to make about this current situation that we're enduring. I feel like my lips are sealed, my lips are tied, my hands are tied rather. I can't talk about certain topics because of YouTube. And this particular issue has to do with our health as citizens and our ability to make choices for ourselves. And with what's been going on lately, a lot of my subscribers know that I talked about the vax situation a month ago. Had my channel a strike against it. I was unable to upload. They deleted the video. Since then, I know a lot of people who are curious about what's going on in the quote alternative media, if you will, who know who Brett Weinstein is and Heather Haying, his wife. They do a podcast together called the Dark Horse Podcast. And they've recently been targeted by YouTube. In a sense, if you talk about these issues, your channel, even if you don't get a strike or get it deleted, you're still going to get shadow banned and you won't show up in the recommended list. There's all kinds of strange things going on in the world. So they have moved their controversial topics over to a site called Odyssey. Odyssee. I also started an account there. I haven't used it yet, but some of my stuff might end up over there because YouTube doesn't seem to allow anything that deals with anything anymore. In fact, I see some strange things going on right now. I've been getting emails from them regularly every day, several a day now, saying, oh, YouTube, Carpo 719, creator notification, we have age restricted your video. And some of them, I'm smoking weed. It's years ago. Most of them are 5 to 7 years ago. So maybe they're just cleaning house, but their algorithms are starting to pick up more and more. If you have cannabis, even a pipe in your hand, or anything controversial, you know. We're kind of moving into a nanny state. And the thing is, as people move over to other sites, I hope they don't turn into other 4chans, if you will, where it's basically just a bunch of people. In the past, when another site would start up, it would be so people who did spread hatred could just go over there and spew their nonsense. But these days, even somebody who's having a rational conversation about their own health and vaccination can't have the discussion. Now, my neighbors the other day came by, and this was really kind of what triggered me to want to talk about this. You know, I can't talk about my personal choices on the issue because I'm afraid that's what YouTube searches for in order to give strikes. I'm just going to say that there's a lot of debate about the safety of something that hasn't been approved by the FDA. But some of the people who are complaining about how this hasn't been approved by the FDA are the same ones who don't even trust the FDA to begin with. In other words, would it matter if they approved it? It seems like all the agencies that we have put our trust in have failed us. From the very beginning, I followed all the rules, the mandates. I've worn a mask and tried to be healthy, be safe, and be respectful and do the right thing. So my neighbors the other day are walking by. Now, these are the most safe people. From the beginning of the pandemic, they have been wearing masks, and their kids who are probably like, I don't know, maybe they're like, 7 and 9 or something, 7 and 10. They've both been wearing masks the whole time. And even after this summer came and everybody relaxed, and I've been letting my kids play with other kids because I'm not going to keep them from doing fun things. But we tried to be safe, wash our hands, do everything we're supposed to do. They took it a step further. Their kids even wore masks when they came over to visit. They wore masks when they were hanging out with other people, and I think even vaccinated people. So both of my neighbors down at the end of the street, they both got different vaxes, from one Moderna, one Pfizer, I believe. And they continued to play it safe. I hadn't seen them in about a week, and yesterday they walked by, and they all still had masks on outside even, but it was for our sake and the people in the neighborhood, because they said they had just gotten over almost 2 weeks of being sick as a dog with COVID. And their kids got sick too. And, it turns out that they got it from a friend of theirs who also was vaccinated. And I'm not one to go on about numbers and breakthrough cases and all these things. I am no biologist. I'm not the scientist, and I'm not an expert on epidemiology. I mean, I can only relay the information that I see about what's going on, like the rest of you. But there's something going on out there with the way that this is being handled, that even the most rational person, even the most respectable person who follows protocol and tries to do the right thing, should be able to see that there's something fishy going on here. And then just yesterday, before I made this, both of the pharmaceutical companies announced that they're going to recommend booster shots every 6 months. And this is kind of what people expected. I feel like this is something that's going to be ongoing now. It's not going to be we get over COVID. It's going to be life plus COVID. And with this variant that's going around, which I roll my eyes at only because it's not more dangerous, it's just more virulent. I have to say that what happened in the UK is really interesting. The UK, I believe last month, had what they called Freedom Day. It was where they were going to go right back to normal. Just open everything up. No mandates, no masks, nothing, I believe. And so at first the cases rose. And then a few weeks ago, or maybe it was just a couple weeks ago, they just started dropping off. And they didn't just drop off, they dropped off dramatically. And so it left a lot of people, even health experts just scratching their heads saying, what happened? Did it just burn through the population like a fuse and do its thing? Or was it maybe not as bad as we thought? And they're still wondering. And this whole time we've been wondering. From the beginning, we were told the whole point was just to, make sure that we don't overwhelm our hospitals, which totally makes sense. I don't want to put my nurses and doctors at risk. But the way people are talking about this as if they're all experts on what we should do with our own health, and now they're mandating it for working for the city or working for the state. I think that there's a lot of personal health choices. I realize as doctors and nurses, you're mandated to get all kinds of vaccines anyway. When you go to the military, you get all kinds of nasty vaccines. I believe there's one for anthrax that's horrible, if I'm not mistaken. I can't even imagine some of the crap that military goes through, and some of them even they've been tested on. But the thing is, when you work for the state, when you work for the city, when you join the military, you sign up to do these things. When you're forced to do something in order just to go shopping at a store or go to a concert, that's going to anger people. And the only way around that is for us to handle things differently than we have been, I believe. And it seems like I can't understand this one aspect. Beyond the passports and all these fears that we have about control, New World Order, and whatnot, I do believe that a real situation has arisen, a real virus that's actually causing problems. But I think it's being blown out of proportion. I also believe that it was probably originated in the lab, and that's definitely being hidden because of the research is so precious to so many people. Nobody wants to admit that it's mankind that could be the downfall of its own economy, even though it always is. But here's the thing. Why are the people who are already safe, who are already bubble wrapped, worried about others who are not? This is something I don't understand in my state where we already have a 70% rate. Why are we concerned? I don't know. I'm sure people can leave comments that will explain it better. I don't want to talk in specifics because I feel like if I talk about certain terminology, this will be flagged somehow. But I'm leaving the question open because I have a serious cognitive dissonance here about this whole issue. Part of me is the person who is rational, reasonable, believes in protection. I believe in modern medicine. I believe in the safety of vaccines. But then there's part of me that says, what the hell is really going on here right now? There's a red light going off that I can't ignore. And I think a lot of people understand that. It's not that it's a conspiracy. It's just that everything that's ever happened in society is used as leverage from somebody to get more control over others. And so I'm just trying to feel this one out and see exactly what's going on. But also, I want to protect my safety in the meantime. And I don't know about any long-term effects from this situation or the supposed shot. I don't know what might happen down the road. I've heard of women having interesting menstrual issues after getting the jab, so I don't know. Maybe this has to be studied more, but I feel like it's all being obscured. It's just all being hidden. You can't even talk about it, and that's wrong. For the last year, the media wasn't even allowed to talk about a lab leak hypothesis. Now it's pretty much set in stone that it came from Wuhan lab. Why are there still people even denying the possibility? It's this, it's dumbfounding that people are so unaware and unwilling to look at something because somebody said it that they don't like. In other words, the last 4 years of politics and all the chaos has set people apart to the point where they're basing their science and the facts of what they believe, not on any particular scientists, but which scientists follow their political beliefs or their side. I mean, Jesus, people are listening to the My Pillow guy as if he knows what he's talking about. It's just a weird time to be alive. I mean, it's almost like a carnival out there. It's ludicrous. But enjoy the show, my friends. As they say, have a cigar. I'll talk to y'all next time. Let me know what you think.